Okay, we are back. All right, we'll get going in just a sec. What's up, Rick Dub? Loves Jones, Shane. There is our co-host right there. Rick, I'm just trying to get like you, man. Just trying to get like you. What's up, Killer? What's up, Chandra? Shonda. Shonda Wilson in this thing. There we go.
Hello. I was
Hello,
waiting
how are
for
you?
you to accept me.
Oh, man. Well, everybody, this is the pilot episode of a new show. It's called Flagrant 1 and 2. So you want to tell them what Flagrant 1 and 2 is? You want to introduce yourself first?
Well, I came up with a name for Flagrant 1 and 2. Um, my name is Zarina, and my Instagram handle is Beauty by Zarina. So for all you guys out there, if your girl needs any makeup done, or if any of you girls are watching and you need your makeup done on your girl, um, I am a basketball NBA enthusiast. I've been knowing Shorty C94 for almost 20 years now. So I want to thank him for bringing me on and getting me out of my shell and actually inspiring me to join and do a podcast, especially about something that I'm so passionate about. So we're here to discuss the NBA, talk shit, and just bringing my voice to the perspective of the NBA, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, yeah. Serena is somebody very special to me. Um, I mean, should I tell him?
Yeah, you could go ahead.
Oh, well, we were a couple from 2008 to 2010. So we had we watched a lot of Cavs games in person and on TV during that time. And there's nobody I know there's no lady I know that's more passionate about the NBA than Serena. So Flagrant 1 and 2 is the beginning of hopefully bigger things to come. But for right now, we're just talking about the NBA. So now that we've got the introductions out the way and the premise, you want to go into segment one?
We can. We kind of, like you said, went over the premise and we're going into the trade deadline. Is that what we want to talk about right now? Or do we want to talk about the games that have played today? Like, I'm finishing up watching the Cavs and Raptors, and it's about time that the Cavs gave the Raptors an ass whooping, because originally we were 0-3 with them on the season, and it's about time that we beat their asses. So, side note, what you all are gonna get is me cursing a lot and like me being
Right.
really like a big shit talker. So please be warned.
Yeah.
So, but
See, I'm flagrant one. She's flagrant two. She's that flagrant foul that, you might get hurt. You might be out for a couple weeks fucking with her. Me,
a
it's just like a relative
non-basketball
flagrant.
play,
You know, oof,
non-basketball play.
you just wanted to
um,
hurt him. You know.
not going for the ball. I'm about to punch you in the nuts.
Yeah. Well,
So
why don't we do this? Why don't we talk about who won and lost, at the trade deadline, because some of the games today were affected by said trade deadline.
yeah, no, that is, yeah. So I'll start off, and I wrote down like a few notes here. So I'll kind of go over, I feel like, what the most impactful trades were in the NBA. Some of these other teams that are like hunting for a play-in spot or just completely out of the playoffs, they made moves, but we don't care about them. So we can go ahead and go to the teams that actually matter. Give me 1 second here. All right, so we'll start talking about, let's talk about the big one, the one that I felt like caused the domino to drop in the NBA. So Kyrie to the Mavericks. I say that for me, I'll start off by saying I like Luka Doncic. I like the Mavs, but I think the consensus around the NBA is that he doesn't have a lot of talent around him. And so I felt like the move to get Kyrie was very much so, I don't want to say it's a panic move, but I felt like they needed to do something. Because if they didn't do anything, would the Mavs have gotten out of the first round, second round? And I feel like the expectations are high in Dallas. And then I'll let you kind of go off of that.
I do agree with you. I feel like they had to do something. I mean, I feel like Dallas has kind of been reeling ever since the Porzingis situation didn't work, because he was supposed to be, as 1-2. They were supposed to be like the new Steve and Dirk, basically.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen. They were kind of struggling for a direction to go in, somebody to go alongside Luka. Now, I think Kyrie is like a Band-Aid, but I don't think he's the solution. I think they need somebody else that's not him.
I agree with you because they're both super ball dominant. Like, I'm not understanding why the Mavs made this move, and especially because Kyrie has like a year left on his contract. Like, he could very well be gone after this season. So it was very much so like all in, chips all in. I'm not sure what the Mavericks are expecting to happen in the postseason with just like Kyrie. It's a big gamble, so we'll see. I mean, they have scoring, but what about their defense? What about their heart? I'm sorry to all the Kyrie fans out there, but this motherfucker, I'm sorry, but talented as he is, does he have the heart to play basketball anymore? Like, does he want to win? I mean, you were in a good situation with the Nets. You guys were turning the corner. You guys were playing good, and now all of a sudden, like, you want out. I guess because they weren't willing to pay him. I've heard reports that the Nets weren't going to pay him anyway, so he might as well just get out while he can. But I don't know. I question Kyrie's character a little bit and his love and passion of basketball. But yeah, I don't know.
Everybody joining.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
You go ahead.
I was going to say for everybody joining, hello. Shout out to Caramel Wonder, everybody else joining. This is Flagrant 1 and 2. Me and my co-host Zarina here. We're just talking the NBA. So there will be slight sneaker talk, but this is different than everything else I'm doing right now. So, if y'all are looking for sneakers, it's not really that kind of show. But we hope that you all stay aboard with us and hear us talk about the NBA. But yeah, I think that he still wants to play and wants to win. I mean, there's a lot.
Just looking at the comment, somebody says that he has to be second fiddle. This is D Wizzle. He has to be second fiddle. Can't handle the star power. It's been proven. I do agree with that. He's better suited as a second option. And it was evident by playing with LeBron. And I think that LeBron was willing to allocate a lot of responsibilities to him and let him shine. But for some reason, when he was here with the Cavs, and side note, I am a huge Cavs fan. Been a Cavs fan before LeBron, after LeBron. And yeah, but
that's a Mike Fratello.
I was once, this is a fun fact, I was once on what was that show, NBA, Inside the NBA, or what was that show they used to come on with Ahmad?
Inside Stuff.
That's what it was. And they were doing like a special on Coach Fratello, and they picked some elementary school kids, and the school I was going to at the time, which I think was Forest Hills, no, Stephen E. Howe. They brought us all to a grocery store, and they did like a whole interview with Coach Fratello about healthy eating and doing stuff in the community, and I got picked to ask a question. I gotta find that tape. It's long lost in the archive. So
yeah, shout out to everybody joining. Shorty, would you wear his latest Nikes? Those are fire. Kyrie? Well, they canceled the newest one. It's not coming out. I do want to go back to a comment. Keeping the Faith has said that Kyrie isn't a good role player. He wants to be the star. I think it's some truth to that. That's why everything in our fair city of Cleveland broke down. My homie Caramel Wonder, Danny Shade, she said, I ain't a hoops head, but I'm gonna hang out because that hair color is giving me life right now. And I know Shade talking about bides, so
Thank you.
Yeah, good to know you're not a Lakers fan like Chris. Woo! Let me just say this. All right.
I love that. Love
Keeping
that.
faith. Zarina and I used to be together. That was one of our biggest things we used to argue about all the time. Tell it.
Yeah, I mean, it got so bad that I mean, you talking about like the height of like LeBron and Kyrie, like LeBron's first stint here, and I'm sorry, not LeBron and Kyrie, but LeBron and Kobe. Yeah, it was a topic, a very sore topic, and a lot of arguments were produced from who was better, who would win in the finals, all of that. So yeah. But again, thanks to everybody watching. This is my first ever podcast, my first ever live podcast. So I appreciate the support. And yes, I am not a Lakers fan.
Yeah, she didn't watch the game today. It's cool,
You know
man.
how I feel. I feel like a lot of Lakers fans, and it may not be you, but a lot of Lakers fans, because of their past glory, they hold on to this everlasting hope. Even when their franchise, and this goes for a lot of fans too, even when their franchise is trash, they still have a delusion as if their team is going to make the playoffs. I'm sorry.
Well, look.
I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying a lot of Lakers fans are absolutely delusional. They think they're going to go to the finals, and I'm like, what? Oh.
Well, let me say this. Rest in peace to Kobe Bean Bryant.
Yes.
Definitely brought me a lot of joy.
Yes,
and it was probably the hardest celebrity death I've ever taken.
Yeah.
But when it was Kobe versus LeBron, when Zarina and I were together, that was a rough time. I will say that there were a lot of Kobe fans that weren't necessarily Lakers fans. Now, I was both, but I would rather the Lakers be good than just one dude be good. You got a lot of LeBron fans that aren't really Lakers fans.
And I can say, Chris, you are a true Lakers fan, because no matter how good or how bad they are, you will be in support of them. Like, you are a true Lakers fan. Just like I'm a true Cavs fan. When they were bad, LeBron left 2 times, I'm definitely going to be a Cavs fan. Speaking of which, oh yeah, we beat shit out of the, what you call it?
Beat the shit out of the Raptors.
The baby dinosaurs.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody joining. All right. Well, I guess we might as well just segue into hot button topic.
Well, I mean, I was going to touch on Durant to the Suns.
My bad. Sorry.
Durant to the Suns. I mean, I feel like the writing was on the wall with that one. I mean, I feel like it was going to happen either sooner or later. So, I mean, again, the Suns are all in. Their championship window is closing. There was a lot of internal turmoil with the team. Why are you looking like that? I just feel like there was a lot of internal turmoil with the team, what they have going on with their owner. Like at one point, DeAndre Ayton didn't want to be there. Devin Booker kept getting injured, or keeps getting injured. He's very injury prone. So I don't know what to think about this one. I mean, you would think this would make them the favorites in the West, but I mean, they have to stay healthy, all of them. Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, the Booker, and like now they have a hole, at what, the power forward or small forward position.
Yeah, really.
So
they gave away a lot of their youth.
Yeah, so now the question begs is their depth. Like, their starting 5 are fire, but I don't know. I feel like this is a trade that's not going to be judged by this season, but next season.
Okay.
When they have a full roster and when they're fully healthy. So
yeah, keep it faith. We get there. We did have a question we just took from my homie Rick Dub. He said, "What's the most under the radar trade that will have the biggest impact?" And you know where I'm going with this: D'Angelo Russell to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Well,
either that. Nah, you know what? Forget that because he played for the Lakers before. Them getting rid of Patrick Beverly for Mo Bamba.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Russell Westbrook to the Clippers.
Call him Westbrook. He's still a first ballot Hall of Famer. He just didn't fit with the Lakers. And you know me. We've known each other. I mean, think of all the big Laker trades since you and I have known each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right before we started going together, the shit with Gasol happened.
Yeah.
And remember, I was kind of like, I don't know. And then they ended up being better. Dwight Howard and Steve Nash. Remember, I was like, I don't know, man. Remember, I was like, I mean, LeBron going to the Lakers. I'm like, I don't know, man. And now, Westbrook. I knew that shit wasn't gonna work. I knew it from the jump. You knew it too. Shout out.
I think the biggest hit, and shout out to everybody that's in the comments showing support, asking questions. I love this. I think my opinion on Russell is what a lot of people have been saying over the years. Where does he fit in at this stage in his career? I mean, he's made a living of being like a ball dominant, like score first. I shoot even though I shouldn't shoot, bad shot selection. And this is no like knock on Russ because he's averaged a triple double in a season. What? How many times? Once? Twice?
It's like 3 or 4 times, I think.
3 or 4 times. So you can't deny his talent. You can't deny his knack for finding the open teammate and being a floor general. But I've always questioned his shot selection and leadership style on the court. So, I mean, it was bad back then, but I mean, I feel like Russ is an interesting player as well because he's like splitting 2 eras. He kind of came up in the era where like Steph Curry and the Warriors were like redefining shooting in the NBA and like opening up the court, and like now everybody has to be a good 3-point shooter. I mean, that's the name of the game in the NBA is pace and space. So it's like, I don't know. I'm really confused about where his legacy lies, and has he been able to adjust his game to the current NBA? Like, Russ has never been a great shooter, but his shot selection is what I've been worried about. So,
well, if you think about it, when he was at his best, even before Durant left, you had him, Durant, Harden, Ibaka. So the shot selection didn't matter as much because you had so many options. So
true.
It wasn't as glaring before, I think.
But once he became the number 1 or number 2 option, I mean, he's done some questionable moves. People have questioned his basketball IQ throughout the years.
All right, so I'm gonna hit you with this. This wasn't even a part of the show, but since you done went here, all right. The Thunder were really supposed to beat Golden State in 2016. They were up 3-1. You remember this?
Mm-hmm.
We were in, I feel like we were talking during that series. Do the Cavs beat OKC with Durant and Westbrook and Ibaka?
Yes. Resounding yes.
Yeah.
Our shooting alone, I just feel like our shooting, the way that our team was constructed, I do feel like we would have beat OKC.
I don't know, Serena.
Yeah. You don't think that the 2016 Cavs would have beat 2016 Oklahoma City? Somebody in the comments, please, back up what I'm saying. Like, somebody say something, because I just feel like, I don't know. My answer is yes.
I don't know if they would have.
I mean, they almost didn't beat Golden State, so
yeah. I feel like who you say who's the answer for LeBron, but who's the answer for Durant? Like, in 2016, 17, 18, LeBron couldn't check him, not and be able to give the same offensive output that the Cavs needed for him.
But we also look at the supporting cast around the Warriors in 2016 versus the supporting cast for the Thunder in 2016. So, what are you laughing
Because
at?
I know you. I can see it in your eyes. I can see like thunder and lightning in your eyes. Like,
Caramel Wonder, thank you so much. I'm going to agree with her because her hair color is better. Sorry, Chris.
shout out Daddy Shane, Caramel Wonder, the legend.
Oh,
Keep
my
his face
goodness.
sleeping over there.
But my thing is, who was the supporting cast for the Thunder? I can look it up, but I just feel like our cast was better. Okay,
You know
you had
what?
KD, you had Westbrook, okay, LeBron and Kyrie,
Let's put a pin
or Wash.
in this
Okay.
for the next episode. We'll put a pin in this one.
Okay.
Because I can't look it up. You know, I can't get into my back for some reason. It won't let me in. So, you know, I don't know what's going on with it. But, all right. But, yeah, I think that let me just say this. As far as, I'm not just trying to talk about the Lakers, but they got so much younger with their trades that if they keep playing the way they played today, did y'all see the game today? Dudes was down 27 points, came back on Dallas with Kyrie and Luka. Won.
But that's also an emergent, that to me, if I was a Mavs fan, that's worrying. Because in the playoffs, are you all good enough defensively to hold teams and to advance to the next round? You have all the offensive, well, you have a lot of offensive talent with, Luka and Kyrie, but are y'all ass on defense for real? Like,
I don't think they're ass on defense, but hey, that Vanderbilt kid, man, he looked like Gary Payton checking Luka. He locked him up. Hey.
I think it's easy to fluster Luka though, because the Cavs will fluster him a couple times. So, and if you shut Luka down, that's pretty much all of it. You know what I mean? Like, who else are you gonna?
But they guarded him well too.
Yeah.
If you're physical,
you shut both of them down. The drop off is pretty significant.
You know,
like they got rid of Dinwiddie, which I thought was horrible. I'm like, wow, like they had to, but Dinwiddie was a good player for them. Like,
he's a glue guy, a role player. Like, you need niggas like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he's an emotional leader in the locker room, and we've both been managers before, so
dreaded retail. Oh my god.
Yeah, that could be a whole other show. But running stores let me know how much that locker room shit really matters in sports.
Yeah,
because it could be one motherfucker fuck up the whole chemistry of the whole store, whole team.
That's true. Yeah.
So
that's
one
true.
person.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there are guys that could affect. Like, they're not even the same team without Dinwiddie.
Yeah,
they lost their emotional leader.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I just don't think right now. Sorry, Chris. Sorry, Lakers fans. I just feel like the Nuggets, and until proven otherwise, are gonna come out of the West.
I ain't got it.
You like, nope. The Nuggets are coming out of the West. Like, they're.
What's great about this season is there's no clear-cut favorite. Like, you can say in the East, it's the Celtics, but it could be the 76ers. You could also say
but I feel like the East has more parity than the West.
Agreed.
And that's and this is the West has always been the top tier conference. Like, this is like the first time.
What about always?
Well, in the last decade or so. Let me say in the last decade.
All right.
This is the first time that I felt like the West was truly not as good as the East.
Okay.
In a long time.
Probably
like the number of teams that are close to each other, well, outside of the top two in the East, I feel like, you have the 76ers, you have the Cavs, you have, the Nets, they're still holding strong for some reason. They're not dead in the water yet, but by playoff time, right.
They're dead in the water.
Yeah.
You know it, and I know it deep down. Come on, Zarina. Niggas is finished.
But they have a bunch of they have no superstar, no stars. They just have a lot of really good role players.
But is it enough time to gel?
No, absolutely. I mean, they'll be in the playoffs. I think they'll fall to the play-in. my prediction is they maybe fall to like the 7th or 8th spot. But I mean, that's still, let me take a look at the standings here, because that's also a far ways to go. And there's also a lot of mediocre teams in the East right now. So, yeah, I just don't feel like, let me see
the
here.
Knicks,
Yeah, the Heat, the
Pacers,
Knicks. Yeah. I mean,
Detroit.
those are really the only teams that I can think of. So right now you have, yeah, so the Hawks. So as of right now, so if I go backwards from 10 through 6 or 10 through 7, you have the Wizards at 10th place, the Raptors in 9th place, the Hawks in 8th place, the Heat in 7th, and the Knicks in 6th place.
All
So
them
if the
niggas,
playoffs were to start
all
today,
of them fall
the Heat, the
off.
Hawks, huh?
All of them are gonna fall off.
I mean, and you got the Bulls and the Pacers like sneaking up. Shit, the Magic could make the fucking play-in if they go on a nice little win streak.
Yeah. And if ifs were fifth, we'd all be drunk. Come on,
Yeah,
if they need like
I
3
think it's
Palos.
I think it's top heavy this year. I think the East is top heavy, and then I think the West is like mid to bottom heavy this year as far as the
I
standings.
will say, because you and I saw Orlando in person in December. When we went to the game, like they're an up and coming team, but they ain't ready this year.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a miracle if they snuck into the play-in, but it could happen.
Yeah.
But
The kid,
yeah,
I can never say his name.
Paulo
Yeah,
Rant Cheerios.
yeah. They need like 3 of him. They'd be in there.
They got a nice core. They have, what's his name, Franz Wagner, their center. They have Markelle Fultz. They have a nice young
Markelle
up and coming
Fultz.
like core.
You go pull that out of your right pocket, Markelle Fultz. I can see if it was 2017. Yeah, they got Markelle Fultz, but like Greg Anthony's son is good too. But we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
yeah,
Nigga was in a
yeah.
dunk contest with some Tims. I still can't get over that last year.
Yeah, I'm from New York. That's his whole reasoning for the shit. Like, yeah, I'm from New York. Niggas from New York and Tim's is like, yeah, man, you're from
Anonymous.
New York.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. But I do want to touch on the Lakers too. Like, with just my whole thing is it enough this year? As right now, as of where things stand, the Lakers are 13th in the Western Conference. But there's not a lot of games that separate the Lakers from those other teams that are fighting for a play-in spot. I think
they were 12th.
maybe I'm looking at the wrong one, but
is it updated for today?
I do.
I mean, we won earlier.
Look at you trying to put a game on. Move up, goddammit.
And we might be the 8th seed now.
They're still 13th as of now, but the standings were updated. But they're like what? I can't. Sorry, I don't like using this browser that I'm using on my tablet for the standings. But let's see the Western Conference. My thing is, okay, so the Lakers are 1.5 games? Honestly, they're like a game out of a play-in spot. So they're a game out of the 10th spot. So the Pelicans occupy the 10th spot. When you look at the wins and losses, actually, I'm sorry, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, they moved up to 11th. So
yeah,
maybe you're
saying 11. 11. We almost
yeah.
there.
Okay, they moved up to 11th. I just saw that. Okay. They may be able to get there,
Championship, man. It's about to happen.
You see me getting quiet. I mean, it'll be cute. It'll be cute. Like, oh, how cute. You guys made the plan, but you're still going to lose.
That's how I feel about y'all. Anytime y'all do something good, you know what I'm saying? Oh, good. The Cavs are good without LeBron. Good.
I'm not even going to talk about the. You already know how I feel about.
All right, don't put your hand on your head. All right.
To anybody who's a Cavs fans or watch Cleveland basketball in here, like, Jesus Christ. Like, I'm going to keep, because in the Cleveland fan landscape, I've come across like two different types of fans. And I feel like I fall into the latter. The first is like they're a young team and you got to go through like the toxic positive fans. And like the fans like me, that's like, fuck that. Like, this nigga JBB Bickerstaff is a fucking terrible ass head coach. I won't say he's terrible. I just don't think he's the team. You know how I feel about this. I've said this 1,000 times. Like, I think he's our Mark Jackson. We need a Steve Kerr. That's how I feel.
It's hard to not be toxic.
Thank you,
positive.
Mayhem Cleveland, JB blows. Yes, he does. I'm trying to be nice, but no.
It's hard to be from Cleveland and not be a toxic, positive fan. Like with the Browns and the Indians, sorry, I still call them the Indians. For anybody who's offended, I know they're the Guardians now. They'll always be the Indians to me. You know, the Cavs, the Indians, the Browns. Like, come on, you got to be. You know, like right now, I'm like, well, you know, the Browns have had to shine for a whole season, and you know that'll be different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm already getting ready for August.
But it's different. I believe that as far as the Browns, but JBB is an unproven coach. He's a tank commander. He's great for instilling culture into rebuilding franchises. But that's, I feel like, his ceiling. I just don't trust him in a playoff series. I don't trust him to out scheme an opposing coach. You know? So that's just, I'm sorry. I just feel like we would do better. Like, I will give him credit for getting the Cavs to buy in defensively, in his defensive schemes. But in today's NBA, and you see this, the Cavs have a habit of leaving three-point shooters open at the line. They overhelp, especially on more talented offensive players like your Jokic and your Embiid, and all they're going to do is fucking kick out the open shooters. And they leave them wide the fuck open. And then on top of that, them niggas hit from like 98% from fucking three when they play us. Niggas could shoot 28% from three all fucking season, and then when they play us, they hit 100% of three-pointer shots. Like, the fuck?
So, my boy Marlon. He's black, but he still sucks. He's an affirmative action hire. And then Faith, Bucks versus Nuggets finals. Now that could happen.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm gonna sound like the old guard here, but I don't really think the league wants that final to happen because ain't nobody gonna watch it. I mean, there might be something to watch because of Giannis, like, you know, but nobody want to see Denver. They're always gonna be a Western Conference final opponent. They ain't never gonna get to the
They're
show.
just gonna be perpetually stuck in the halls of the Western Conference Finals. They can never make a finals appearance. Did they ever make a finals appearance ever?
No, the two times they came close, the Lakers, 1985 and 2009, got them out of there. Alex English and them, Fat Lever back in the day, and of course Carmelo, Chauncey, JR.
The ultimate fuck nigga team.
Hey, he's good. Hey. Well, what to say that?
And I love that team. I'm sorry. I love that team. They were like the what is it? The Jailhouse Blazers, the Jail Blazers.
Hey, they had a deep team. That just the Lakers. That could have went either way. I mean, they had Nene, they had Linus Kleza, they had Anthony Carter coming off the bench. This is after Iverson, so they had Chauncey. That was a good team. I mean, Melo was like at his peak. He had cut the braids off. He wasn't fucking around, you know. Hey, you know, that could have went either way.
Yeah.
But when Iverson, I remember you and I went to a game. It was your birthday in 2008. Remember we went to see the Nuggets when it was Iverson and Melo.
Oh yeah.
And it was like the niggas was just taking turns with the ISO back and forth like that. I wonder whose turn is gonna be now, you know. And then maybe the third play they might run a team play and kick it into Nene or Kenyon Martin to somebody, but
right.
It's like Iverson's turn with the ball now. Now it's Melo's turn. So
yeah, Iverson was always the ISO king, though. Like seriously, I mean, shout out to him. Of course, he had to put that team on his back. Like yeah.
Rick Dub, Grizzlies, Celtics. Ooh. All right, we got to talk
I
about.
say Grizzly Cavs finals. I would love a Grizzly Cavs finals. Like,
Listen, Memphis. Memphis is another team where they're good. They talk a lot of shit.
yeah,
Niggas that ain't won nothing. Like y'all
yeah.
ain't won nothing. You know, and
Please
then
do
it's kind of
my
like
edges, young.
John Morant earlier in the season. Then be like, well, Malika Andrews like, well, who you go to? Celtics. He's like, in the West, I'm not worried about nobody in the West. Nigga, are you worried now? The Lakers have gotten younger. Phoenix has gotten better. Dallas has gotten better. Y'all ain't got
Yeah.
no road to the finals like you think, you know.
Well, they are still inconsistent to me. I don't really watch a whole lot of Grizzlies basketball. I just, what do they
Yes,
need to get
Rick.
them over the hump?
With,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
he said,
Memphis needed a vet at the deadline. You're absolutely right. Like, Steven Adams is I feel like a okay locker room presence, but they still talk too much shit, and they do need a vet to lead them. So
that's not
yeah,
Steven Adams.
yeah, that's not Steven Adams. Yeah.
But
So
the thing about the game now, as opposed to the NBA we grew up on, was there aren't like a lot of vets around. Like, I mean, you've got what? Udonis Haslam. He's like a super duper vet. Like, who else do you really have like that? That's like a player coach, like how Tree Rollins was with Orlando, or
yeah,
where or Juwan Howard with the Heatles. Like, yeah, nigga, you on the team, but you in your street clothes most of the time. Like, you ain't really playing for real.
is
Practices.
Udonis Haslem still fucking playing? Like, first
Well,
of all,
I mean, he might dress for the
46 years
game, like
old.
half of them, but you don't really have a lot of the NBA is so much younger than it was 10, 15, especially 20 years ago. It's not a lot of vets around. I mean, and then you got, like LeBron is like the elder statesman now, but he's still LeBron. Like, nigga, I can't relate to you. You're fucking LeBron. Like, what do
But
you know?
I think for Rui Hachimura, I think what a great situation for him to be in, to be on a team with someone who plays the same position, who can lead him on how to be. I mean, he's not going to be LeBron or probably even close to, but that's a great mentor for him to have. So,
Well, what Rick said, you can't have the voice of reason be the coach. They need someone on the floor to do it. You know who the Grizzlies should have got? Because I don't think he plays for anybody, but I think he's still an active NBA player. The Grizzlies could have used somebody like Rondo.
yeah, him. I was even thinking Eric Gordon because he's been rotting away on the bench in Houston. I mean, I'm pretty sure he would have loved to went to a contender, but
He's on
I
the
don't know where he
Clippers
went
now.
to.
I think he's on the Clippers. I think he went to the
He may
Clippers.
be so. Yeah, I think so. He did get moved this trade deadline, but somebody like him, especially for Ja, because I like Ja. I don't necessarily have a problem with the Grizzlies trash talking per se, as long as they keep it. I feel like the league needs that though. The league still needs like that bad boy. They're not like the bad boy Pistons. Don't confuse what I'm saying, or But I still think they kind of need that type of team to they every era has to have like that bad boy team. Jailblazers, the Nuggets. Every decade or every season has to have some type of like villain story in the NBA. So do
So
I
you feel
think
like
it's
that's
bad?
Memphis?
I don't think it's bad for the NBA, but I don't think they're going to go anywhere. I definitely don't think they're going to win anything. Like, if anything, last year was a year they should have they could have beat the Warriors, but whatever.
Well, okay. Let me just say this about the Nuggets before I forget. I think Jokic is going to be there, but Jamal Murray is just going to get hurt again. The other light-skinned dude, I can't think of his name. He'll get hurt again.
Oh, Aaron Gordon.
No, not him. It's the other dude. He's like a Porter Jr. or something. I
Oh,
can't
okay.
think of one of the other light-skinned dude that's good. That's not Aaron Gordon or Jamal Murray. That dude. I can't think of his name.
They are the
But
most light-skinned team on the last plane.
but yeah, like Aaron Gordon and Jokic won't be enough for them to get to the finals. I still think they're going to make it probably to either the second round or maybe the Western Conference Finals, and
But
then that'll
who's
be
the
it.
favorite though? If they're not enough, who's the favorite?
Thanks, Rick. There is no favorite. I mean, there isn't. I just don't think it's going to be them.
Okay. Fair enough.
There's no Lakers or San Antonio penciled in people like it used to be. I kind of miss that. I miss the Spurs being good. I hate them. I hate the Spurs.
Yeah. Shout out to Popovich. He's like my favorite coach.
Last of the OGs.
Honestly. Yeah.
He's the last OG.
Yeah.
Pat Riley,
Phil
Red, Larry Brown.
So if we take this a little bit deeper and we actually look at who's the Western Conference, if it's not the Nuggets, then Clippers?
Come on, man.
I'm just naming names. Warriors have some issues.
They have some issues, but if they get into the playoffs, they're still them. They'll still, I mean, they're the only great team in the NBA right now. They're just having a rough season. Curry is banged up. But they still have they're the only team I know that knows how to win. Because, the Lakers are technically still a recent champion. The Bucks are a recent champion, but Middleton is in and out. Golden State is the only team that knows how to win and is in the middle of a dynasty. So they've got to be – I'm still going to look at them as the favorite if the Lakers can't go. But it's not going to be the Clippers. Come on, Zarina. I've been saying this to you for 17, 18 years now. The Clippers are still the Clippers. Something that happened where it just won't work. Somebody will dribble a ball off their foot, inadvertent whistle. I mean, or somebody will get hurt in Game 6 and not be able to play in Game 7. Something that happened. The Clippers.
They're a team of injury-prone fuck niggas.
Like, I don't care. They just aren't. They're still the Clippers. Until they win something, they'll always be cursed. They're like the Browns of the NBA.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who they get or what they do. They're still going to lose because they are the Clippers.
I don't know.
The Knicks is really the Browns, but that's a whole other thing.
I just want to see what they'll do in the playoffs this year. I wish them health. I wish them to have, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Russell.
I hate the Clippers more than I hate the Celtics. Fuck the niggas.
Really? What have the Clippers done to you?
Listen, I still can go back to the bubble when they was talking all that shit, when they had Montrezl Harrell and Patrick Beverly, and they were beating up on the Lakers, and it's like, yeah, we want the Lakers, and it was supposed to be them in the Western Conference Finals in the bubble with the Lakers, and the niggas choked, and haven't heard nothing from them since. But it's been wrong for them to share a building with the Lakers all this time, them to be the team for the hood and street lights over spotlights and covering up the fucking banners and shit. Fuck the Clippers. I hate them. I hate them more than the Celtics. And as a true to the heart Lakers fan, that's saying a lot. There's certain teams I hate. I hate the Pistons. I hate the Trailblazers. Now, if you see me wearing a Pistons shirt or a Trailblazers shirt, it's to match a shoe. It's not in support of their team at all.
Yeah. You know how I feel. I have a rational hate. I fucking hate the Knicks. Like, I wish nothing but non-success for their fucking franchise for the foreseeable future. I don't like the Knicks.
If the Knicks or the 76ers aren't playing the Lakers or the Cavs, I'll root for them.
I don't like the Raptors, of course. And it's not because, I don't know, their fan base is extremely annoying. There's nothing else for them to root for, so I guess they just become psycho over the Raptors. So, I still hate the Raptors. Like I said, their fan base is delusional. They always think they can get a superstar, and they're one player away from making the finals. That's the entirety of their fan base and what they believe. So
they did it.
The only time, and probably no more after that.
Vince Carter will always be the greatest Raptor to me, but you got people that say, well, it was Kawhi Leonard. He came there in one season and gave him a championship, and I can't really argue with it. Maybe he is. Yeah,
that's such a weird. Yeah, you won a championship with this franchise, and you won a bolt, but he wanted to play in LA. That's where he's from, so
that's worked out so well for him.
Right?
He should have just kept Lakers, man.
Should stay with the the Raptors. So
what? Man, he wasn't gonna win nothing there after that. McGrady.
I
McGrady.
mean,
Man. Shout out Barley, man. Shout out. Hey, I had to tell you about Mayhem Cleveland, my boy Barley. He's never like LeBron from before the beginning. Like, I've known him since LeBron was still in St. Vincent St. Mary. He's never been a fan of his. And I respect that about him because he ain't never hopped on the bandwagon or whatnot. He's never fucked with his shoes or any of that. You know what I mean?
I can
So,
respect that.
yeah, he ain't never been.
And I'm a team fan. I'm not a player fan. And so
mm-hmm.
a lot of people are still LeBron fans. And I respect what LeBron is doing. Like, I would prefer him to do it in the Cavs jersey. But, I mean, I respect him, but I'm not about to go out of my way. Like, certain people, not just dudes, people are just very, I don't know, when it comes to their favorite players. And I get it. And that's the makeup of the fan in the NBA. You have player fans, you have team fans. And, you know, although player fans annoy me because it's like, I mean, you're just a diehard no matter what. Like, I respect great players, but I'm not about to go out of my way to, like, dog my own team out just because they're like, no. That's just me though. That's just me. So
Yeah.
he said be writers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
one of my favorite memes from when LeBron was on the Heat was, it don't matter what team he's for, it's wherever he at. He at. You know, like, yeah. You know, people, man, I ain't even a fan of a team. I just like players. Like, yeah, that's what's
Yep.
wrong with it. You know, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but, you know, kind of tying back to what we were saying, if it's not the Nuggets who are the favorite in the East, who is it? And you said it's wide open for anybody.
Yeah, because, I mean, Milwaukee might make it. The 76ers might make it. Boston is better than both of them. I still feel like the Cavs.
I don't know. Boston, to me, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's very matchup dependent with them because I feel like there are certain teams. I may get hate for this, but I feel like the Cavs match up. I don't think we'll beat them in a 7-game series, but I think we match up with them fairly well.
But why don't you think they will beat them in a 7-game series? What, because of Bickerstaff?
Yeah, duh. That. And at the end of the day, our guys are still young, you know, outside of Donovan Mitchell, but I still think that not yet. Maybe next year if, you know, we keep the same core, but if the Cavs had a coach, they'd be in it. True. You see me trying to still, like, not go so far into JBB's ass and drill him because no. It's a no for me. But, yeah. But we match up well with the Celtics. The Bucks, it's a toss-up. Like I said, whatever happens this year with the Cavs, I'm looking more forward to next year. So the general consensus and the kind of the acceptance is the Cavs, you know, I mean, we make it to the second round, but Eastern Conference Finals would be like a treat and an unexpected surprise. But I'm looking at next year and how we jump next year after we've had a year with our young guys with an actual playoff series under the belt. So JBB can't sing, skip, or hum. Man, facts. Big facts.
Well, let's jump to segment 2, which is the hot button topic for the episode. And it's your turn since this is a pilot episode. You know, you can bring that out.
All right. So we talked about this earlier. And with us being in that decade, that was a decade of great, like, basketball. It was a treat being a Cavs fan and of course, yourself being a Lakers fan, seeing Kobe, you know, basically in his prime or, you know, still in his prime, and LeBron sort of entering his prime. Not quite there yet, but we look at the year of 2009 to 2010 as a year of what ifs. So this segment is called What If. So we'll be talking about things in the NBA that happened that were left with an asterisk and, like, what if? So the question we always ask each other is, who would have won in the finals between the Lakers and the Cavs in 2009 through 2010 through 2009, or sorry, with the Lakers and the Cavs, I'm sorry. So that year, the Orlando Magic beat the Cavs to go to the finals, and they didn't they get swept by the Lakers that year?
We beat them in 5 games.
5 games. Okay. This is Chandel. Hello.
What's up, Jay Lockett? Jason Lockett, Sr.
And who would have won? So we look at like roster comparisons. We look at the superstar players that they had. So
L-A-L.
I don't know.
The Lakers would have still won. Now, for clarity, do you mean the 2009 team that won 66 games or the 2010 team that won 61 games with Shaq?
I'm talking about the 2009 team that won 66 games because they were almost equally yoked. How many games did the Lakers win that year?
65.
And we won 66. Mm-hmm. Those teams were literally on it was being hyped up. They were on a collision course to meet in the finals. It's what the NBA wanted.
Yeah. So there were 2 games. There was the game on Martin Luther King Day. And then there was the game that was it on your birthday or was it the day before or the day after?
I think it may have been on my birthday.
Okay. Now, y'all.
If you want to tell them about that game.
Yeah. So we went to the game in Cleveland, Kobe versus LeBron in 2009. It was Zarina's birthday. Shout out to Sad Tate for the tickets. You know. So the Cavs had been undefeated at home. They hadn't lost a game at home, and the Lakers came in. It their streak, and they beat the Cavs in Cleveland, and I was so happy. I was so happy. Like I was.
And we had great seats too, by the way. Huh? We were right behind the the basket. We were right behind for the amount of those tickets at that time, for those 2 teams playing together, the arena was packed. There were no empty seats. It was complete insanity. So one of my best memories, one of my best birthday presents ever. Shout out to Mom and shout out to Chris because I had no idea. And my mom spent a pretty penny for that. So
yeah, because when she called and asked me about it, I was like, yeah, these aren't. This isn't like a regular Cavs game. It's like a whole different thing. And another sidebar, one of my dad's best friends always had tickets, and we had tickets, but this game wasn't a part of the package. But my best friend had them, and he was trying to charge me like $1,000 a ticket. At the time, I didn't have $2,000 to drop on a game.
Right.
And I remember looking back and seeing my dad's friend. He was looking like the fuck, and I'm looking back at him like. So
yeah, nigga, look at me now. Right?
But that was one of my favorite memories of it too. I'm like, man, I ain't got no $2,000. I'm a fucking manager at GameStop. Are you crazy? So. But yeah, that game, I was gloating to my friends, and you were so mad that the Cavs had lost, and that I was gloating to my friends on the phone, because none of my friends are Lakers fans. I'm the only one. Everybody, wanted the Cavs to win, and I'm like, see, I told y'all, you know what I'm saying? Wasn't nobody ready for Kobe, Odom, Phil Jackson, Derek Fisher, and you were ready to whoop my ass. Literally, I'll never forget the look on your face, but me being the petty asshole that I was at the time, I kept gloating to them anyway. So
I think I was mad at you for 3 days after that.
Yeah, that was a long 3 days. But I really believe that the Lakers would have won just because to me the biggest difference in those teams is the fact that the Lakers lost to the Celtics the year before. Now, granted, the Cavs lost to the Spurs, but it was different. And this is no hate or shade, Zarina, but the Cavs weren't really supposed to be in the finals in 2007. You know it, and I know it. That was the worst starting five.
They overachieved that year.
Yeah, that was the worst starting 5 ever to be in the finals.
But I definitely do think that LeBron started his legacy kind of around that time as a
Agreed.
bona fide Hall of Fame,
Yeah, absolutely.
arguably the greatest player of all time. Like that was his ascent into like greatness that season.
But like the Lakers were so good, especially after they got Gasol in 2008, that most people thought, and me included, that they were going to beat the Celtics. So for them to breeze through the playoffs and then get rocked the way they did by Boston, coming back the next year, all that was on their mind was winning the championship. Not saying it wasn't on the Cavs' mind, but I just think that the finals loss the season
Yeah.
before would have been the difference in them beating the Cavs.
Yeah. They were on a mission for sure.
Yeah, I
But
mean, Kobe.
no,
Go ahead.
well, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, I mean, Kobe and LeBron, both of them could have won the MVP. I mean, LeBron got it in 2009 because Kobe got it in 2008. But I feel like the 2009 Cavs were better than the 2010 Cavs, but I feel like the 2010 Cavs would have stood a better chance of winning the finals against the Lakers because of Shaq. Like Shaq might have had some reawakening, and he might have turned the clock back 6 or 7 years just to get one more than Kobe.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I
You
still
never
can't
know. I
believe
mean,
Shaq was on the Cavs though. That's still like just a tangent though. The players the Cavs have had when LeBron was here, like we've had Shaq, Dwayne Wade, Derrick Rose. Like what? Like I still can't believe that those
Bill
players
Wallace.
were Cavaliers at some point. Right.
Yeah, Bill Wallace used to run up the court like he was wearing 8-inch Timbs, boy. Knees was hitting himself in the chest. Oh man. I mean, fucking Drew Gooden. But yeah, so you think that the Cavs would have won?
I don't know. It's a hard call. I'm looking up the roster.
They were all super old. Yeah, they were. Hey, I sent you that thing the other day. I know you saw it where it was like, this should be erased from NBA memory. It was like Wade and Derrick Rose throwing alley-oops to each other that 17-18 season on the Cavs. Like, how did that happen? Shout out to everybody joining.
Yeah. I mean, in Cleveland, they were super old. Yes, they were. They were. Oh my God. Arthritis was setting. Derrick Rose is still playing. I think. Like I think in a limited role, he's still playing with the Knicks. I think.
I thought he was with the Timberwolves, but it's the
Or
same thing.
Timberwolves. Somebody. Yeah, he's with someone.
Somebody that's not contending.
Yeah,
Minnesota,
so. Huh?
Minnesota in it?
Yeah, Minnesota, I think, is the 8th seed.
Okay. Yeah, them niggas were supposed to be a lot better with those two bigs.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that later.
Shaq was missing dunks. Yes, he was. It was awful. He was so awful. Oh, my goodness. So that roster for the 2008 through 09 Cavs, who were supposed to go to the finals that year, they had Boobie Gibson at point guard. Who did the Lakers have?
Derek Fisher.
Yeah, Derek Fisher. They had J.J. Hickson at center. Like, and who did the Lakers have? I'm sorry. Power forward, but still. I mean, the Lakers had Lamar Odom.
Was supposed to be a star for the Cavs. That he just ended up being us.
Awful.
But we could have had the Cavs could have had Amari for him. They didn't want to do it.
Oh wow, we had nobody. I
had LeBron and Mo Williams.
Yeah, that was it.
Because what? So what the backcourt was what? Mo Williams and Daniel Gibson. LeBron.
Wally Zerbiak. Sasha Pavlovich, like Joe Smith.
Yeah, Delonte West was probably coming off the bench.
Yeah, Ben Wallace, Jawad Williams. Oh my God, Lorenzen Wright. Didn't he, rest in peace to him, didn't Lorenzen Wright get killed?
By his wife?
Yeah.
R.I.P. Um, so yeah, I mean, you figure that roster against, your backcourt of Kobe and Derek Fisher. Uh, um, you who's
Did they have Paul Gasol at that time? The
yeah,
Lakers.
yeah,
Oh
he was the
yeah.
power forward. Andrew Bynum was the center. I can't think of who the small forward was. I keep wanting to say Rick Fox, but that was the early 2000s. I always said it should have been Lamar Odom, but he used to come off the bench by that point, so I
Mm-hmm.
can't think of who.
You right.
Oh, it was until the trade. It was Vladimir Radmanovic. He used to start.
Oh yeah.
But then they traded him for Adam Morrison and Shannon Brown. Shannon Brown was on the bench for the Lakers. Adam Morrison, this nigga didn't see the court the whole time. Got
He
2
looked
rings.
like a drug addict. He had a
Um,
very distinct look about him.
and on the bench, you had Luke Walton, you had Lamar Odom, you had Jordan Farmar, Sasha
Vujicic.
Vujicic, again, Adam Morrison, DJ Mbanga, Trevor Ariza. He might have been the starting 3, now that I think about it. I feel like they start him sometime.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, just naming the names I've named, I mean, the Lakers have a clear, obvious advantage. And I mean, the coaches, come on.
Yeah.
Though I will say, I've seen the Lakers play almost every year since I've been a kid. I've only seen them win in person a few times. They always used to. That 2009 time was one of the only times I could think of where the Lakers won in Cleveland and in Los Angeles. Usually they'll split it, or the Cavs will win both games.
Well, yeah, back in that time. Now, the Cavs just now recently beat the Lakers both times. Because, LeBron had a vendetta coming back here to Cleveland beating us, so. And there, he never wanted to lose to us, so. Well, hey, what?
Nothing. No vendetta.
It is
LeBron
vendetta.
played good in front of his hometown people. He probably bought out half the building. Akron's in the building. I don't think LeBron has a vendetta against the Cavs.
I mean, he never wanted to lose to the Cavs.
I mean, think about it.
And
if you're
LeBron's been accused of coasting and not giving a fuck for a lot of games. So, but for the Cavs, he always got up for the Cavs.
I just feel like it'd be like if the Walking Company had a basketball game and Delia's was coming into Beechwood. You would want to beat them because you used to work for Delia's, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't care because I'm like, first of all, y'all are on a store that's on the way out. No one shops there. Mayhem was like LeBum is from Akron. He doesn't like Cleveland.
You've been calling him LeBum since 2002. Since we've been talking basketball. Oh man, but
I can't, like, people who don't like LeBron. I'm not mad at them. Like, I respect him, but some of the moves he's done have been questionable throughout his career. But hey, who am I to say anything? He has loyal supporters, and he will. You know how delusional Kobe stans were, though.
Yeah.
Come on.
Of course. I've been accused of being
Some Kobe stans, and I call them not fans, stans. Some stans were delusional. So,
all right. So since this is a perfect segue then. So if Kobe doesn't tear his Achilles, does he pass Kareem for the all-time scoring record?
I don't know.
So
I don't think so either.
I still don't think so. I think because he played long enough and scored enough to pass Michael Jordan. He might have caught Karl Malone, maybe, but I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have caught Kareem.
Yeah.
Because of those early years when he was behind Eddie Jones and Nick Van Exel, and then playing with Shaq all those years. If he had a different kind of career, he could have.
Yeah.
But
I think so too. I don't think his game was, conducive to him breaking that record. And that's not like even a shot. I just think that, you look at the positions that hold that record, it's pretty well. LeBron's, small forward, but I mean,
Yeah, but
power forward,
he's in a power
center, like
forward's
people who play
body.
close to the basket. What? What'd you
He's in
say?
a power forward's body.
Yeah. So that's always been my theory. Kobe as a guard, would his game allow him to get to
30.
that threshold?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
We both agree on that.
yeah,
No disrespect. Peace, Kobe.
yeah, absolutely. I still think he would have ended up maybe 2 or 3, possibly.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
So that's like my theory on that. So, um,
Well,
and then what else is next? But okay, back to the point of if the Lakers, I do think the Lakers would have won that series in 2009.
yeah. 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 Rick doesn't think he would have made it either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think he would have.
Just
Yeah.
with the coaching, the experience, the recent finals loss. That's why I really think that the Lakers would have had it for the Cavs. I mean, if the Cavs would have made it, they might have taken that loss hard and came back the next year. I'm just glad that never happened because as much as I love Cleveland and I want the Cavs to be successful, it would have been hard to root against the Lakers. I mean, anytime I went to seeing the Lakers at whether it was Gund Arena, Quicken Loans, Rocket Mortgage, whatever, always wore my Lakers stuff. The Lakers are my team. But it would have been hard. I would have really been torn. And again, being with you at the time, that would have been really hard for our relationship. If the Lakers and the Cavs would have made it to the finals, that would have been rough. You know,
I still
long time.
looking back, I think it'd have been fun, but yeah, I think I
It
would have been mad as
might have
shit.
been fun with you down, but not you there. I'd have been out the house and everything, but nah. It would have been hard to
Yeah,
the Cleveland team though. So I'm glad that it didn't happen.
yeah, me too. But it still would have been a great what if.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
was the year that again Kobe at that time considered the best player in the NBA, and LeBron kind of like entering his prime and his status as a greatest of all time. It'd have been a great finals. I wish it would have happened, but hey, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, why don't we jump to segment 3, which is
Okay. Standings, predictions.
all right. So
I mean, we
you know what?
kind of already touched on that already.
Yeah,
So,
but let's look at the games that are coming up this week. I
okay.
mean, the game I'm looking forward to the most, probably right now, off the top of my head, is the Lakers in Memphis on Tuesday at 7:30.
Okay.
Yeah, probably gonna try to watch that
Um,
with Isaac.
I'm gonna
He likes John.
try to watch that too. I just think that they um
Yes, Rick Dub. We would have got more puppet commercials.
yeah. 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 The league was going for that. I mean, it was such a push. I mean, you remember that commercial that they had where it was like the city of Cleveland versus the city of LA, and it was like,
It was a vitamin water commercial. I remember that.
yeah, vitamin water. Yeah. I mean, it was like the thing. So bronze foot though.
Yeah, he heard it earlier. I hope it's okay. He's still
Yeah.
yeah. The Lakers can forget it without him. I mean, as great as Anthony Davis played this afternoon, still need LeBron.
Hmm.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So Tuesday, so the games coming up, notable games this week. Tomorrow, the Heat and 76ers. I just care about that one because I want the Heat to beat the 76ers so the Cavs can get closer to the 3 spot. That's the only thing I care about. Celtics and Knicks. Again, I hope the Celtics win. So again, we keep the Knicks off of our tail, which I think they're like 2.5 games back of us. I don't think they're going to catch us.
Yeah,
Um,
Knicks are bogus.
yeah, I hate them. So I don't see. Let me see who the Cavs play. I think the Cavs may have 2 days off.
They actually come on national TV, I think, on Thursday. I think they play the Celtics.
Let's see here. Yes, they do. It's Wednesday. They play the Yes, they play the Celtics Wednesday, March 1st. We're at TD Garden Arena.
What time does that start?
7:30. Yep.
Still be up.
And we have 2 days off.
Man, it's March 1st, man. We start closing at 9 again. Fuck. Ugh.
Oh man. I mean, you'll be able to catch like if it's a close game in the fourth quarter. So somebody said Knicks, let's go Knicks.
Yeah, shout out Jay Van. She from New York. So gosh, man, I forgot about that. Yeah, the fucking mall starts closing at 9 again on March 1st. Fuck.
Oh shit. That's kind of silly, but yeah. And then we play, our next game is until Wednesday. So that's going to be a good one. And I really hope that, I mean, we've got in that Philly game and in that Atlanta game, we really got our ass kicked. So I really hope the Cavs come out with some intensity on Wednesday because the Celtics are going to be looking for revenge. They're going to look to make a statement and say, hey, you know, you're a measly 4 seed baby team. So I really hope the Cavs come out and they pick them apart. The Cavs have shown they can beat Boston, but we'll see. I mean, over the course of an NBA season, the teams evolve and they get their, their identity. So we'll see how the Cavs respond after their bad losses on the road. So the game in Philly, they could have won, but it's just, and that's my other gripe with coaching with JBB. It's like he doesn't have his team prepared. It's like they're trying to baby them. Like, no, like you need to let them know, like, yo, like, this is a big boy. You better come out swinging. Like, yeah, and it's F Boston and the Hawks. Yeah, like, it's, yeah, we'll see.
Celtics.
You said what?
The Hawks are the new Celtics. I mean, Trey is just the new Isaiah Thomas. He'll hold the fucking ball for 20 seconds out of the 24-second clock and hold the ball, and everybody can.
And you barrel into the defender to get foul calls. Like, I hate that type of game.
Yeah. So, I mean, they fired Nate McMillan, which was silly. Like, they don't really have the personnel to play the kind of ball that Nate McMillan tries to instill. I mean, it's just ISO. It's just Trey against 5. Can't win like that.
Yeah. But, I mean, both him and DeJounte Murray, they both hold the ball a lot. Like,
yeah, I mean, he hasn't been there. I know he's only been there for a little bit because he was on the Spurs, but still, like, Nate McMillan is a defense.
They overpaid for DeJounte Murray, too. Like, I just don't think his talent is – he's a meddling. Yeah. He's a middle of the road, middle of the pack type of dude. So.
Yeah. Cavs looked good earlier. Yeah, they're going to be, Cavs will be all right.
Yeah. If JBB just gets a hold of his rotations and makes smart moves and plays the right people, which is like his basic ass fucking job, then yeah, we will win. But I mean, and coaching aside, the Cavs have personnel issues. We don't have any reliable shooters. It's outside of Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. Like,
yeah.
Wade
ain't gonna be a Coro.
Wade is supposed to replace Kevin Love and be the better 3-point shooter, but he plays scared. As much as I love Ricky Rubio, I think he's pretty much done. I mean, he's not looked great these last games.
Did Snyder make a difference in ATL? Remember, you was just saying earlier we was on the phone. He was wishing that the Cavs could have got him. I always thought Chris Snyder looked like a movie villain. Like he should have a detonator in his hand. Like, he just looks bad. Like you get here at 8:00 and you. But I don't know. I mean, he could make a difference. I mean, I look at what he did with Utah. I mean,
yeah, he could. But it's gonna take that culture. Like, I don't know. The Hawks are an interesting team. I mean, they have talent, but
see, it shouldn't matter. But Atlanta's another place like Cleveland. Like, it should be a black guy coaching that team. I'm sorry. I mean, it's all a part of the. I don't know. I can't think of the right word to
The
articulate, but it just
identity of the team is identity
yeah,
of the city.
it's sort of like certain cities should have a black mayor. Like Chicago should have a black mayor. Cleveland should have a black mayor. Atlanta.
But would you say the
I
same thing for Memphis? Because Memphis should have a black coach, but they don't.
They will. They will. People
Which,
can put stuff in the oven, but don't mean they're gonna be able to take it out. I mean, we saw that with Mark Jackson and Steve Kerr. So
yeah,
see, Golden State went Hollywood after they got all that money. They moved to San Francisco. They ain't in Oakland no more.
yeah. I do think that Nate McMillan has never been. What was the high? Didn't he go to like the conference finals one year? Nate McMillan.
I think that with him, I think so. But the fact that he was a player, he was a good player, a defensive-minded player. I mean, having had conversations with a lot of dudes that were players, they always say the thing that it's nothing like having a coach that was a player, because they have a feel for the game. Like, Jenkins needs to make a conference finals, or the clock will be ticking in Memphis. True.
Yeah.
Shout out Rick Dub, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Rick Dub. Kick game. Jay Van said Hawks are overrated, fold every playoff. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
That's why I was so salty when we couldn't beat them in the play-in. We had them on the ropes.
Yeah, they really
last year.
That I remember watching that. You know, it was the only game the Cavs were on national TV the whole fucking year. So at least that's different now. What's up, Erica? Oh man, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, in the East, I'll just leave it at it's Boston, 76ers, the Cavs, the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anything else? I mean, and to me, I know it's Giannis and Giannis is Giannis, but I still think, as much as I hate to say this, being a Lakers fan, the Celtics are probably still the best team in the East.
That's fair to say. I think it's a toss-up between the Bucks, kid game crazy Knicks. The Knicks are
look. Jay Van, you know I love you, right? Y'all are lucky. I mean, the way the Knicks have been. I mean, if I could go back to when I was a young man, when they made it to the finals, when I was in 12th grade with Larry Johnson and Alec Houston, it's been a long road back to y'all being what y'all are now. Y'all have had a couple of instances where it could have went one way. You know, y'all had Tyson Chandler, y'all had Melo, JR, Chauncey, I think Jason Kidd went there. It's been a couple times, but y'all had Porzingis. It's been a couple times, but it's been a long road back. Y'all need to just keep trying to build. Y'all still got Dolan as y'all owner. That's the biggest hurdle right there.
Right. Yeah. I just feel like they have some pieces. I mean, they got Brunson, they got Randall, Emmanuel quickly. I mean, they have some nice pieces, but ownership, them not going after Donovan. The consensus is with the Knicks. They shouldn't have went. They were right in not going after Donovan because it would have handicapped them from making future moves going forward, basically.
Even they were salty about that. Whew. I look at Erica with the Erica E. Fiorentino 31. She from Boston, so
Hey, shout out to Boston. They're doing a damn thing this year.
I don't think there's ever been a time in either of our lifetimes where there wasn't at least one Boston team that was good.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know this life, this Cleveland life of, where the Cavs is bad, the Indians is bad, the Browns is bad. Like, we'll have no hope. It's just a sports desert. You know what I mean? So, I think only maybe Philly is the only other team I could think of where every single team, the Eagles, the 76ers, and the Phillies, that the fucking Flyers might be good. We don't really have no hockey team. So,
and shout out to everybody who's joining.
Tried to call you earlier. Left me on red. Oh man. But yeah, this is for y'all that don't know, this is a new show. It's called Flagrant 1 and 2. Shorty C94, Beauty by Zarina. We're just talking about the NBA every 2 weeks. This is the pilot episode, you know.
Yeah, I may not be a sneakerhead, but I'm a makeup head who loves the NBA.
You still have some sneakers. Let's not do that. I mean, you still got some in the cut. Speaking of which, did you ever?
No, F all Philly teams. That's funny. I don't like Philly. I don't know. Philly teams, yeah, they don't do it for me either. Like, them Eagles fans was fucking salty. Whew.
Yeah. Any college hoops talks? Well, being here in Carolina, that's all. This is North Carolina or Duke. I don't really have anything for any college right now. WNBA. My favorite player right now is Elena Del Don. I actually just
I love Asia Wilson. That's my girl.
cop some Del Dons. So see, I am showing the
Those are
shoe.
fire.
Yeah, this is an inclusive shoe. Y'all love the WNBA. You got to get some of these Air Del Don.
Those are fire.
Just to be true pair, you know, in support of the LGBTQ plus IA. I think I said all the letters. So yeah.
Yeah, I may have to get those because those are fire. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Asia, she's the fucking goat, all close to the goat. Like, she fire. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Since this is the pilot episode, we are going to include the WNBA and maybe some college in there too. This is just the first episode. We're kind of getting this off the ground. Zarina and I have been developing this show for about a month.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's good. Whenever y'all see the NBA logo, but instead of Jerry West, it's Kevin McHale tackling with Kurt Rambis. That's us. That's the show. You know. Yeah, it's Flagrant 1 and 2. I'm Flagrant Foul 1. She is Flagrant Foul 2. She'll knock the shit out you.
No. I'm only when I'm watching my. You're like, it's like y'all should see me watching a game, especially a Cavs game. It is, oh my god, like, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
When I come to Cleveland, hopefully in 2 weeks, we may go live and I might just have it where y'all can see Zarina here watch a Cavs game. Because again, other than my father, I've never watched more NBA games with anyone but her. That's about right. From 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like a lot of games. I mean, we went to the game in December and watched the Orlando kid. What is his name again?
Paulo Banchero. I think that's how you say his name.
I just know he was one that's on Jordan Brand. You know, he's on Jordan Brand. But yeah, we went to that game. But yeah, other than my father, I've never watched more NBA games with anyone but Zarina here. So
same for Chris. Also, side note, what do you think about Jason Tatum's new shoes with Jordan Brand?
Garbage.
I just wanted to.
I mean, to cut you off because they leaked, and then he was like, "No, those aren't the shoe." And then the fucking All-Star game comes, and he's wearing the shoe. So I don't get it. Yeah, we might as well touch on the All-Star before we end the show. You know.
Yeah. We talked about, I think, jerseys are what we're going to talk about since the bubble.
Yeah. I think the Cleveland jerseys are the best ones, the silver joints. I
do too. Those ones from 2021 look like fucking Clorox. Clorox advertisement.
Yeah, I mean, I know that these jerseys this year were supposed to look like the Utah jerseys with the fade, but
yeah, they look just like a Jazz jersey. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What's that about?
I mean, I remember when they first debuted those jerseys. I think it was 2017 or 18, like a FUBU jersey from 2000 with the fade, man. You know what I'm saying? The FUBU 05 right here. You know.
I like the blue ones, but they were very generic looking. Let me put it that way. They look like they didn't put too much thought into it. Right. Right. Exactly. Might as well put that on there. Now that they've done the new format, what do you think about the new format of the All-Star game with like the captains and the draft?
I like that they did the draft right before the game, so it was kind of like the playground where it's like, man, I got him,
Yeah,
I got him. That was neat. The game itself, like the second half, was much better than the first. There wasn't really any defense. Niggas was just, like
they say it was
scampering
one
around.
of the worst rated, the lowest watched All-Star games in history.
Not surprising.
I mean, it did turn into like a 3-point shootout, but that's almost every All-Star game. So I'm not sure what people were expecting. But I will touch on the All-Star game being here in Cleveland. I thought it was excellent last year in terms of the planning, the layout. If I'm alive around that time, if we have the All-Star game here again, it was just a great experience, and I'm glad Cleveland was a host city. And I really think that they did a pretty good job of the game, especially with the 75th anniversary and how they they laid it out. It was in Utah. That's what I said. Y'all got all these motherfuckers, especially all these melanated folks coming to Utah. Like, I felt like when the All-Star game was here, there were so many activities and different things and parties and events around the city, you would think that the fanscape of the NBA, I felt like it was kind of conducive to, the city, the Cleveland. We have a large Black population. There's some culture here. Like, Utah was like, what are we gonna do? Like, what events are you guys gonna have throughout the city? Like, it was just, yeah, I don't know. But I mean, it's in Indianapolis next year. I would love to go to that one, or just, be in the city on that weekend to do things. So that don't even sound exciting. I'm in Utah for the weekend. Right. Right.
And if they do it,
It's very like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It don't. Like, unless you're going there to hit the slopes, to go skiing or, go hiking in the mountains, it's like, okay. There's no culture there to me outside of like, what, Mormonism? I don't know.
Yeah. I just think they're like, well, we haven't had it here in this long. Like, I think the last time the game was there was in '93 when Stockton and Malone were the co-MVPs.
Yeah.
First All-Star game. But
I think, don't they try to have it in every city that has a team? Isn't that like the point?
well, yeah, it moves around. But like when even in 20, like All-Star game was in Chicago. It hadn't been in Chicago since '88. Like around the time
Oh, wow.
it was like around, So
Yeah.
February '88, great month.
Oh, my goodness.
But nah, that was
Yeah.
probably the best All-Star game of all time, 1988. But okay. Well,
But I'll try to hit, like, my goal is to go to Indianapolis next year for All-Star weekend. It's another probably majority.
oh.
Well, it just has more culture, well, more urban, more, what's the word I'm trying to say?
I think of Indianapolis. I think of race cars. Indy 500.
I've been to Indy before on some work stuff. It's pretty cool. It kind of reminds you.
I remember you went down there. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it reminds you of Cleveland a little bit. I do think if one is in Memphis, I think that'll be a good idea, like, to have one there. So
Ball and Juicy hosted it. Ball and G at the door. Had players come out the door. R.I.P. No, but
also Memphis is a newer franchise too. So
yeah, infrastructure.
Yeah, I was gonna say infrastructure. Yeah, I don't know. Can they support an All-Star game? Are people going to be safe? Are people going to be not even just safe, but do they have, like you said, the infrastructure to, support the large number of people coming? So
yeah, shout out Rick Dove, man. He's been a host or a guest. I mean, on Shorty Sneaker Conversations. Definitely one of my shows I've had. Shout out to everybody in these comments. Kick Gabe crazy, keep it faith. Everybody here. Yeah. Well, Anything else you want to go over?
I just this is my first time, and I appreciate everybody coming out to show support. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for going easy on me and not. But basketball has been my passion. This has been my guy for many years, and yeah, we look forward to doing this coming up in the future. And yeah, it's been really good, and we definitely want to continue to do it for the culture. And
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what's going to go on in the NBA this year.
Yeah. Thanks, Rick.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Zarina. Before we go, why don't you, let everybody know where they can find you?
You can find me at Beauty by Zarina. That is me on Instagram. If you guys have anything, you want us to talk about in particular, any feedback, any questions, comments, please feel free to DM me or message me. And, if you want to be a guest on the show, I know I'm probably like over taking this a little too far. I haven't even talked about this with Chris. I'm just like taking over. But yeah, please do. Like, definitely one of my passions. And like I said, if anybody is looking to get their makeup done or know someone who needs it, just feel free to shoot them my services and DM me for that.
Cleveland area?
Yeah.
Cleveland area. All right. Well, this is where y'all can find
Thank
her.
you.
You can find me. It's safe. No, I'm just playing. Hit y'all with the belly. But no, I'm Shorty C94. This is the pilot episode, Flagrant 1 and 2. What are we doing this by?
We should create a page. That's a page for the podcast.
Yeah, we well,
We can be jumping the
they have to
gun.
shoot the
Look
pilot
at
first.
my podcast expertise coming into the chat. Even though this is my first one, I'm already like.
Yeah, I've done hundreds of
Yeah.
lives. Man. Yes. We have to have the pilot be successful first before we could order more episodes, We'll figure it out.
I know.
But, yeah, so we're doing this bi-weekly.
Yeah. Well, we could do it. Yeah, we could do it bi-weekly. Yeah, we could do it bi-weekly.
That's something we'll discuss, and we'll let y'all know later what we figure out with that. But thank you, everybody, for watching.
Yes, thank you.
We're going to go ahead and go on behalf of my wonderful co-host here. Follow her, Beauty by Zarina, Shorty C94. We'll see y'all soon. Peace.
All right. Take care now. Bye, everybody.